In normal times, it would be strange to lead a newscast with the firing of a former reality TV contestant, but let's face it, no matter where you are on the political spectrum, you'd probably agree these are not exactly normal times. So we begin tonight with Omarosa Manigault Newman, fired 3 times from The Apprentice and once from the White House. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 4 times, I don't even know who's to blame. Manigault Newman, who last we saw was whispering to Ross on Celebrity Big Brother, is now trying to sell a book and is waging a war of words of sort with her old boss, President Trump. She's releasing tapes of conversations made on the job, including one with the president. And she promises more recordings of phone calls, according to Politico, with first daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner. Manigault Newman once held a senior position at the White House Office of Public Liaison. She drew the highest salary possible for the West Wing and drew questions about what qualifications, if any, she actually had for the job. Well, now that she's back in the spotlight, Manigault Newman is being accused of poor judgment on the job and worse, by the same people who hired her in the first place. She's been called a liar by many people, including by Michael Cohen, who is also at war with the president and who also recorded conversations with him. It's, of course, a cliche to point out that this all sounds like a reality show, but yes, this all sounds like a reality show. A show where public employees are told to sign non-disclosure agreements, which she just said she did not sign. A show where the boss is recorded talking about paying hush money to silence Playboy models, and where he allegedly offers a deal to Manigault Newman to remain on friendly terms. It's a show where a presidential candidate could loudly and repeatedly promise to hire only the best people, only to ditch them and then call them liars and wacky and more. On Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press, Manigault Newman released this clip purportedly of her firing by Chief of Staff John Kelly in the White House Situation Room.
We've got to talk to you about leaving the White House. It's come to my attention over the last few months that there's been some pretty, in my opinion, significant integrity issues. I think it's important to understand that if we make this a friendly departure, we can all be, you can look at your time here in the White House as a year of service to the nation, and then you can go on without any type of difficulty in the future relative to your reputation.
Can I ask you a couple of questions? Is the president aware of what's going on?
Let's not go down the road. This is a non-negotiable discussion.
Well, this morning also on NBC, Manigault Newman released another recording of a call purportedly with the president.
Omarosa, what's going on? I just saw on the news that you're thinking about leaving. What happened?
General Kelly came to me and said that you guys wanted me to leave.
No, nobody even told me about it. Nobody.
Wow.
They run a big operation, but I didn't know it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't love you leaving at all.
Well, the president either pretending he didn't know she was going to be fired or actually not knowing she was going to be fired, but not exactly stopping it either. That is what he said then. This is what he tweeted this morning. Quote, wacky Omarosa, who got fired 3 times on The Apprentice, now got fired for the last time. She never made it, never will. She begged me for a job, tears in her eyes. I said, okay. People in the White House hated her. She was vicious, but not smart. He continues, I would rarely see her, but heard really bad things, nasty to people, and would constantly miss meetings and work. When General Kelly came on board, he told me she was a loser and nothing but problems. I told him to try working it out, if possible, because she only said great things about me until she got fired. All right, now, first things first, that is the President of the United States seeming to suggest that someone may have deserved firing in real life because she had been fired 3 times from a reality TV show. A TV show he continued to have her on. The president is also suggesting that despite being nasty and missing meetings and work and being informed by his chief of staff that she was nothing but problems, wanted her to remain because, quote, she only said great things about me. So given that, was the president just making it up when he said this about her during the campaign?
And Omarosa, don't leave Omarosa. She's a wonderful woman. Don't leave. She's a wonderful woman. She has done so much for me with the African American community, with communities generally, and she's another one. She is such a fine person, and nobody knows it. You are amazing, okay? And I just want to thank you very much for everything you've done.
See, it sounds there like he's not just talking about a thrice-fired reality star who'll say nice things about him. No, it sounds more like he considers her a great hire, like all the other great people he either had hired or was planning on hiring.
We're going to make America great again. We're going to use our best people. I'm going to get the best people. We're going to deliver. We're going to get the best people in the world.
We don't want people that are B level, C level, D level. We have to get our absolute best. we're going to use our smartest and our best. We're not using political hacks anymore.
It's a sophisticated chess match, but I have the best people lined up. You need people that are truly, truly capable. We have to get the best people.
So was Omarosa Manigault Newman one of the best, or was she always, to use the president's words, a loser who just said nice things about him? Is she a lowlife, as the president says today, or a fine person, as he once said? We may never actually know, but if the president is right now, what does his hiring of Ms. Manigault Newman say about his own judgment and the kind of people he wants to surround himself with? We don't know what White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders used to think of Manigault Newman, but now that the president doesn't like her, she is clearly not a fan. Her statement reads, and I quote, "The very idea a staff member would sneak a recording device into the White House Situation Room shows a blatant disregard for our national security, and then to brag about it on national television further proves the lack of character and integrity of this disgruntled former White House employee." And as I mentioned earlier, the president's former attorney and current alleged adversary, Michael Cohen, also decided to weigh in, tweeting, "To the many dozens of journalists who called me questioning Omarosa's claim in her new book that POTUS, at Real Donald Trump, took a note from me, put it in his mouth and ate it, I saw no such thing, and I'm shocked anyone would take this seriously." Just for the record, he's saying he never saw the president eat a piece of paper. And the president of the United States retweeted that. And that is all just part of today's reality.